All right, let's just dive right in. Today, we are cracking the code on what is, without a doubt, the fastest changing language on the entire planet, the language of the internet. We're going to explore not just what all the new slang is, but more importantly, why it even exists and how it actually works. And this quote, it really gets to the heart of it all. You know, language used to take decades, sometimes even centuries, to really evolve. But online, a phrase can be born, go totally global, and then become a cringy fossil all in the span of like a single week. The internet has literally rewired the whole rhythm of human language. I'm guessing you have, and you are definitely not alone. If you've ever seen someone type, "I'm dead" with the skull emoji and wondered if you should call for help, or, tried to figure out if being told "it's giving" is a compliment, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to make sense of it all. Okay, so to really get this, you have to stop thinking of the internet as just a tool. It's not. It's its own environment. It's a living, breathing culture. And like any culture, it has developed its own completely unique language with its own set of unwritten rules. And this is the crucial part. This is about so much more than just a list of new words. Using online slang, it's how people signal who they are, what digital worlds they spend their time in, and what they find funny. It's basically how you find your people online. So, that brings us to the big question. Why does all this slang even exist? Well, it's not random at all. It's a direct response to the online environment. Think of it like a digital pressure cooker, where billions of people are all talking at once, forcing language to adapt at high speed, pretty much just to survive. And that adaptation, it's really driven by three main forces. You can think of these as the fundamental rules of this whole new ecosystem. You've got the need for speed, the central role of humor, and the constant, non-stop performance of identity. Let's break each one down. First up, speed. Online conversations are happening in real time, and let's be honest, nobody has time for paragraphs. So slang becomes this amazing tool for efficiency. Phrases like "it's giving" or "I'm dead" aren't just trendy. They're shortcuts that compress a really complex tone or emotion into something that works in a super fast-moving comment section. Next, we've got humor. Online culture is, at its core, built on shared jokes. When someone comments "delulu" or "ate," they're doing so much more than just using a word. They're plugging into a massive global inside joke. Humor is the currency of the internet, and slang is the language that makes that transaction possible. And finally, identity. And this one is huge. Using the right slang is kind of like wearing a badge, right? It immediately tells everyone what online communities you're part of, what kind of humor you understand, and basically just how online you really are. It's your passport into these digital spaces. Okay, so we've got the why, speed, humor, and identity. But now let's talk about the how. How does a tiny, niche inside joke become a global phenomenon in like a matter of hours? Because it doesn't just trickle out anymore, it erupts. Just take a look at this life cycle. A phrase can be born in some small community and then explode globally, get adopted by brands, and eventually become this cringy cultural fossil, all within a few weeks or months. Compared to traditional language, which takes generations to evolve, this entire process is just happening at absolute lightning speed. So what's driving that incredible speed? Well, it's these three engines all working together. First, you have the algorithms, right? They're pushing whatever's emotionally potent. Then, you've got creators who turn that language into actual trends. And finally, memes come in and package it all in a format that's visual, super easy to copy, and pretty much universally understood. It's the perfect storm for a linguistic wildfire. All right, so we've got the theory down, we know the why and the how. Now, let's put it to the test. Let's roll up our sleeves and actually decode some of this modern dialect that you've probably been seeing everywhere. And remember, the real skill here isn't about building a giant vocabulary list. It's about recognizing the patterns. Once you understand why the slang exists, that need for speed, humor, and identity, you can pretty much decode anything you see online. First up, "it's giving." This phrase is just a masterclass in internet language. It's intentionally left unfinished so you can fill in the blank with any vibe you want. A messy room? It's giving chaos. A really dramatic outfit? It's giving main character energy. It's perfect for visual platforms because it's a super quick, performative way to make an aesthetic judgment. Next, delulu. What a perfect word for our times. It's basically the anthem for anyone who's manifesting a text back or applying for a job they're maybe not quite qualified for. It takes this negative idea of being delusional and reclaims it as this fun, self-aware, and honestly, even powerful state of mind. It's a brilliant example of how online language turns vulnerability into a community-building inside joke. And finally, she ate that, or the even more intense version, ate and left no crumbs. This is pure performative praise. You wouldn't just say a report was good, right? No way. You'd say your friend ate that presentation. It's dramatic, it's over the top, and it signals that you're part of a community that celebrates excellence with its own unique theatrical language. Okay, let's wrap this all up. After looking at the why, the how, and the what are the new rules of language we can actually take away from all this? This, right here, this is the key. What looks like random, chaotic nonsense from the outside is actually a highly logical and incredibly creative adaptation. It's language evolving in real time to meet the emotional and social needs of our digital world. It's not chaos at all. And this is really what I hope you walk away with. True fluency isn't about knowing every single word. It's about understanding the cultural forces, that need for speed, for humor, for identity, that create them in the first place. Now you have the framework to decode not just the slang of today, but whatever comes next. Which kind of leaves us with one last big thought. We are living through the most dramatic linguistic shift in all of human history. Our language is adapting to be quicker, more visual, and layered with all this irony. So the really big question is, where does it go from here? What's next?